in 2020 and 2021. Both are class acts. I spoke in a Sting. I told I will find footage of the WCW match. He was dying of laughter. That's amazing. Dang, you met Undertaker and Sting. You met two legends 6 months apart. Okay, how was it meeting the Undertaker? They say he's very chill dude in real life. I wonder if that's the case, Mr. Legendary Jelly. But other than that, though, guys, let's move on to Undertaker. Let's see what he had to say regarding this match. Why it did not go down. And he talked about this on his podcast. So let's get into it, and I'll react to this after this is done. So here we go. The Undertaker on the match that never was with Sting.
I understand runs. What a run. I think, got in the business a good 2 years before I did. I think he broke in like 1985, somewhere in there. Okay. I remember seeing him and the Ultimate Warrior. He was the Dingo Warrior.
Yeah.
In Dallas, which was where I broke in. I remember seeing those two guys as a tag team there, and then they obviously split up, and Warrior went to New York, and Sting ended up at WCW. I don't know if Sting ever went to work for Mid-South, but I mean, what a run he had with WCW. I mean,
he maybe the face of WCW when you think about
at times,
it.
definitely. Yeah. I mean, obviously they had some big stars, and but I think, I mean, he's one of the cornerstones of that company, early 90s through the 2000s. I mean, he was just, I don't think there was anybody in that company that was any bigger.
He did something very similar to you. I mean, he did a character change.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
Yeah, it was a big one, and it's always a roll of the dice, and it really is. People can either accept it, or they can crap all over it. And it was cool. It was kind of I think it was kind of what's the movie, The Crow themed kind of a deal. It was kind of a dark deal. So I wonder now, like everywhere I go on any given day, I get the question. I always call it the question. Like when I do the One Dead Man show, I just wait with, I was like, when's it coming? Because I know it's going to come, and it's always like, why didn't you and Sting ever have a match, or why didn't this happen or that happen? Which would have been, man, that would have been huge box office. It just didn't work out. And
he never came over to. I mean, he did, but it was just such a. He was a very short run in WWE.
And Vince didn't want it. For whatever reason, I don't know what it was. He just.
So Undertaker saying that Vince did not want this match of Undertaker versus Sting. We could say Vince played a huge factor in this. It's so obvious, but just hearing the words out of Undertaker's mouth says it right there. That Undertaker thought it was no chance that this match will ever go down in history. So this is how Vince McMahon really felt this way.
No chance in hell.
So Vince said it ain't happening. But yeah, that's a bummer. But yeah, let's continue on with Undertaker has to say.
He didn't feel it, and everybody else was like, people have been clamoring for this match for quite a few years now. I mean, as soon pretty much, I don't know, a year or two into his turn, or into that character change. I mean, people were already. They were sending me artwork with the billboard or the poster, right? And so, it just never worked out. And then it got then it was 2 when he got there. The match would have been good, but I don't think it would have lived up to the expectations that people have for it. I mean, people always think about things in a certain sense. Like I think they thought in their mind of Undertaker 2007, 2008 versus, Sting.
Yeah.
It was later on than that. And, I can say, I was on the, I was way on the backside of what I was going to do when he got there. And
we may have thought that he was too, but apparently he.
Well, yeah, I mean, he hung on.
I mean,
but the smart thing that he did was he was booked judiciously.
Yeah.
He wasn't put into situations where he might have got exposed and not be able to maybe keep up with the younger talent. It was very that was that I don't know, it was probably him, I would imagine. Because you have to understand your limitations, because a lot of times people will they'll get caught up in the moment and let's put Sting in the ring with such and such.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking about I'm just talking about AEW. There would have been tons of single matches for him, but he kind of took what's the other kid's name? Darby Allin. There was a little bit of chemistry there. And Sting was kind of that big brother type role.
Putting him in a tag team as well at this point of his career was a smart move.
It's a very smart move, because you don't get exposed. You can very creatively
and
pick your point. You pick your
when
spots.
You're saying exposed, it's not the fact that Sting doesn't have the talent. It's just Father Time
has never lost.
Yeah,
he's undefeated. He's and believe me, I know. I feel like I can speak on this, and I'm not trying to say anything disparaging about Sting.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, in my heart and my mind, if I could, I would still be in the ring.
Yeah.
But I had to come to the cold, hard facts that, like, what my mind's eye and my heart feel, my body wants no part of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just wants no part of it. And it doesn't allow me to, it doesn't allow me to do the things that I want to do. Could I go out there on my sweat equity and what I've done? Hell yeah, I could. I could go out there, because I'm not patting myself on the back, but I don't think there's anybody in the business that can throw a punch like I can throw a punch.
Yeah.
And, I can choke slam. I'm not messing up my brand new knees with a tombstone.